Welcome to Surf Rock Dice Tower.
Yeah.
I'm Tom Vassal.
You started me.
I'm Camilla.
You put a dime in the jukebox, it's got to play out. I'm Chris.
A dime in the jukebox? What century are you from?
One of those 17th century jukeboxes.
What's the last machine you put a dime into?
None.
I didn't know that could happen.
Okay, come on.
I've never done it in my
No,
whole
like
life.
I didn't know. Like I'd know the penny ones where you do the penny smasher.
I've done the
But that's-
water machines, like the big water windmill things, where you can like put various and sundry coins in there.
Oh yeah.
Done that.
I
No,
guess
those
that's
don't count.
True,
Okay,
yeah.
That's when I was
I mean,
super rich in my life, and I was like, please take pennies. I need water.
Anyway, I'm Z Garcia. Hi.
I said I'm Chris earlier.
You did.
Oh,
We
you
all
did.
have said it now. I was the last.
Okay, this is
From the top?
Professional. All right. Welcome to Crowdsurfing, a show where we talk about Kickstarter projects. Speaking of Kickstarter projects, our own is happening in like a month? Less than a month.
Sure.
No, it's a month.
Yes.
A month less one day.
Yes, it is a month from now. Yesterday.
We want to say thank you to some of our Kickstarter backers from this past one.
Okay.
You always rub your hands like you're ready to...
I'm about to tear into these. Here we go. I'm excited to hear these names.
Thanks to Matt Kvarnstrom,
I love it.
to Sarah White Malik, to Justin, to Keith Wheeler,
Keith Wheeler.
Tracy
a beast.
Tudor, Mark Kratzer,
Wait, was Tracy?
Casey
Tracy
what?
who?
Tracy K. Tudor.
Tutor.
Tracy K.
That's fun.
Tudor, like the guy
Crazy
Oh,
Tutor.
that was
Henry
Toot,
Tudor,
like-
Henry. Mark Kratzer, Gregor Forbes, Bria Aldward, and Adrian Heiniger.
Let's go back to Justin.
Justin.
With a monomer. What does he call
Not
that?
all of
like
them.
the one name.
Just that
Justin.
one. That
Share.
Justin.
His last name is Credible.
Oh.
Just incredible.
Yes,
I
thank
got
you.
it. I got it. Yeah.
Thanks
yeah,
for
that was
spelling
yours.
that out.
Making sure. I'm just making sure everybody gets it.
If you've never seen our show, we talk about games that are on Kickstarter, Backerkit, or GameFound, and are ending in the next week or so. We'll be doing this again next week during the Winter Spectacular. But for now, we're going to get started. But before we get started, let's take a look at we'll feature a project here that is on Backerkit. Here it is. Okay, today we're taking a look at a new game from IV Studios called Moonrollers and Darkmatter, a Moonrakers Double Feature. So if you've never played Moonrakers, it's a very intriguing negotiation deck building game where you're trying to work together to complete missions. So there's a couple things here. First of all, we have Moonrollers. This is a standalone push your luck dice rolling game for 2 to 5 players and a 35 card mini expansion that you can get here. You get it in a nice collector's box if you back. And I've seen IV Studios productions. The Kickstarter stuff is absolutely gorgeous. They have their own distinctive style. I can always tell when I see one of their games. So you can get a bigger box here, which has room for the box, the neoprene mat, and dice tray. So that's one thing, and it has they mention it has the same crew as the other one, but there's also some interesting things down here with this Moonrollers, and they talk about the push your luck dice game, and this is very interesting. I'm looking forward. I like push your luck games myself. But you also will have a chance to put this game as an expansion for Moonrakers. So we come down here talking about the collector's edition and more. You get metal dice upgrade, the box and the mat. And if you're new to Moonrakers, there's a whole lot of stuff you can get. But this expansion or this game can be used as an expansion to Moonrakers, or you can play it on its own. So there's a lot of cool things here. If you've never tried Moonrakers, I highly recommend trying that game out. And then we got Moonrollers here now, and this is all on Backerkit. Yeah, so let's just jump right into that project here. Moonrollers plus Darkmatter. I'm a big fan of Moonrakers. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, a push your luck dice rolling game sounds fun. Mm-hmm. That looks good. But I'm kind of interested in the fact that you could take this and then it's also an expansion for Moonrakers.
Yeah.
And adds in like extra dice for the cards.
It is really flexible, right? In that way, it's its own standalone and expansion, and also another expansion.
That's pretty
in here.
cool. I mean,
Yeah.
a game that plugs into another game is a rarity. We've seen it in the past a little bit, but that's pretty neat. If you can play this on its own, it's also an expansion. That's wild.
Yeah.
And the game on its own, I like Moonrakers too, but I'm excited to try this as a dice game.
I wonder if it'll make like the base game feel like if you get used to the dice game and play that version, then add in the other game, if it makes it feel like a bigger part of that small game, or does it feel like you're just playing part of the big game? You see what I'm saying? Like, is it actually like expanding it out?
I'm assuming the dice are going to be part of the wheeling and dealing that happens in the big game.
I just wonder what that'll feel like. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I like dice games, and they make really great looking games. I like that they're like, we have a bigger box version, and the video is like, but not that big of a box.
Yes, yeah,
Like,
I definitely
thanks.
appreciated that. Also, what are the dimensions?
I really like, we get on a lot of projects because of how they look. I like IV Studios' look. It's so distinctive to them. Like if you were saying here, guess the game publisher, I would almost always guess them from their games.
Yeah, I agree. They have a very clean, very modern look to everything, slick.
I mean, they're literally professionals in this field, which helps. But I know that not everybody has access to that. But use resources, reach out if your campaign doesn't look very good. Like maybe find someone who does help with graphic design because it's noticeably different.
All right, now jumping back to Kickstarter, Machines to the Sky, in all capitals.
To the sky.
The end of the world is near. Forge innovative tech and flee the dying earth
Finally.
in this dystopian strategy board game. So,
This looks interesting.
very clean
I like that
dystopia.
theme a lot, but then I got down into the imagery for the game, and I'm like, this is kind of by the numbers Euro game is the feel I got for it. I don't know what you guys were kind of picking up from it, but
I feel like I've seen
All
this
right.
game before, but I don't know how to. I haven't, but it
feel
just
that way
feels like
too.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very pulp. I almost don't think like space evacuation. It looks kind of like noir detective-y.
Yeah, it's like space pulp kind of.
Yeah,
is
maybe
what
that's
I
why-
picked up on.
I'm sorry. Maybe that's why it looks so familiar.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But
I like the artwork. I like the graphic design. I'm not so sure about. Like those do not look good to me. The imagery, though, neat. But you're right. It's not screaming take off into the heavens vibe.
But I mean, I think this is the one that said like simultaneous play. Like a lot of it's supposed to be very simultaneous and stuff. So I mean, I like the sound of that. Hopefully, it means that you're consistently involved. And I wonder how much this feels like wheeling and dealing, and how much this feels like I got some stuff. I spend it for other stuff. Kind of, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So I'm intrigued by it.
All right, Colossi. This is. This one's not in all capitals, so there's that.
It's not screaming at me. I thought this one was interesting. I like this idea. It reminded me kind of sea salt and paper, I guess, where you are going out, and in this one you're building up a deck until you think you can win that location, and then you call for a duel on that location. It's kind of in sea salt and paper, like where you go until you think you win, and then you call at the end of the round kind of thing. And so I like that a lot. It's like that balance between having to build up and make sure you are most powerful there, but not giving the opponent too much time to build up as well. So I thought that was an interesting take on the mechanism that I think is exciting.
I'm surprised you found this one interesting because it's sort of it has a trading card game DNA in it a little bit, and I know you do not like that
I don't at all.
kind of card game, so I'm surprised to hear that was interesting, that was engaging.
I think it's because it's like you're playing on face down on the table and building it up between the three locations, and then there's a second phase where you pick that up. So it's like you've crafted a hand for that location, and are you trying to put a lot of cards there and just shed a lot of cards there, then thinking you're going to have it, but really you're beefing up another location? I thought there were some interesting decisions behind that. We might have to sign. I had to sign yesterday. No one's in.
I'm going to mute my microphone, though. This game looks interesting. I like lane battlers, so I'll give it a try.
My concern with this game is, and sometimes we complain that games have too many symbols and then there's not text that explains it.
Yeah.
I feel like this one is the opposite. So I look at these cards here.
Too much text.
There's a
know.
lot of text on that card,
Yeah.
on each of these cards, and there's no symbols, nothing to help me differentiate it, so I have to go by the name and the text.
Yeah.
And there's a decent amount. I'm worried about that. They're like, only 24 cards. But it looks like I got to memorize some stuff in 24 cards.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe.
I was not grabbed by this one. I like the idea of locations. I think that's neat.
But these cards are beautiful.
It's very attractive. This is I have to play and see. I don't know. That cover also, that image that they chose to make their main image there. Gosh, there's lots of good artwork everywhere else.
Yeah.
Why go with that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sleeping Gods.
Hey,
It was not. I am a little out of breath.
not Sleeping Gods?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh. Are you sure? What if we ask the third time? Now is it Sleeping Gods?
I think
I want
it's.
Sleeping Gods.
Is it Distant Skies?
I think it's shelf
Let
parts.
me rephrase. It's what?
I think it's shelf parts or something.
That's less
Send
exciting.
it back.
Shelf part from Matt
No,
Leacock.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
want
good
that.
one.
Ooh.
All right. Hey, do you want to make your own dice?
Maybe.
That's what you can do with this
This is-
Kickstarter here.
This looks cool.
I like it
Kinda
says now for the
pricey,
first
though.
time you can create your own dice. Roy, haven't you already made your own dice?
Yeah.
So it can't be for the first time.
No, it's not. I think the point of this is it's just all one kit. You know, it's kind of like if you go to Target or whatever and you get those kits for your kids to like, oh, the rock painting kit or the loom knitting kit. You know, that's kind of what I picked up. Not that, I'm not saying this is for kids
Kids are
at all.
into loom.
No,
That's what
no,
we're saying.
No, it's a thing.
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
I
so,
know. I love a good loom.
What
You know,
other
stop mocking something that's real.
what other agrarian era old habits are we going back into the stick and wheel?
horseshoeing.
Whatever.
all I'm
Horseshoeing
saying
kit.
is my kid loves
You get
those,
it comes
so,
with the
you know,
horseshoes and a hammer.
What is
and
wrong
the
with you
nails
two?
and a horse.
The loom. Anyway, the loom will give you more
I'm
hot
in.
pad holders than you've ever wanted in your
Absolutely.
entire life.
100%.
Because that's what you make with these looms.
Yes.
What do you make with the loom?
Hot pad,
Pad
holders.
holders.
That's straight up what they make
Oh
with
my
them.
gosh! Yeah. Or like or like the friendship bracelet ones with the little rubber bands. And my son loves those. Anyway, but this is kind of like a dice kit like that. It's like here is everything you need together. And so I think this is really neat. It seems like something I wouldn't do often, you know, but it's one of those like kind of one shot. Oh, this is fun, neat, and then it's gonna sit in the closet.
That's
I
what I'm saying,
agree.
if
This
it's
is
like
a
those
great.
kits.
This is a
Yeah.
great activity night kind of thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like if you are, there's people who, I don't know, paint mugs or do whatever, like crafty night.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic kit for that.
Yeah. This is like the girls' night. You know, we come over and we have, well,
Girls'
we
dice
make
night.
yeah, girls' night stuff.
Z, let's you and I have a girls' night.
Let's do it. We're
See,
gonna
this
craft horseshoes.
In the words of Mike DeLisi, resin is deadly, deadly poison.
Yeah, there's that. The thing though is, I mean, I'm going to use my kids thing as an example. The same thing happens every time I buy them. I've stopped buying them in recent years.
What are you
But
talking
I buy
about?
them at Christmas time.
Looms?
These kits, whatever they are.
Oh.
You buy them. Instantly, the kid goes, "Hey, can I get this out?" And you're like,
Oh yeah.
"Fine, I just bought it. Okay, fine." I get it out, and it's all over the place. And then it gets used twice, and then you never see it again until you realize you have 10 of these kits sitting on top
Until
of
you
the
go
shelf.
to someone's birthday and you regift.
No, you open it and use it.
They
Well,
get
I'm
one
getting
free
invited to many
pre-printed
parties.
mug.
I don't know why.
This is the demo mug. It came this way.
Wizards of the Grimoire Shifting Sands. So this is a standalone expansion to Wizards of the Grimoire.
I've
Who here has played
reviewed.
this? You have.
I reviewed Wizards of the Grimoire with Joey. It's a good game. It's an interesting card game with very simple rules. It's a little repetitive. It's a little flat, I thought, the curve of it. But it's an interesting game in which there's kind of two hands of cards, or really one hand and then spells you can draft. So you take them, whatever you want, you put it in front of you, and then to activate the thing, you play other cards from your hand on it. It does whatever it does. If it costs 3 cards, you put 3 cards on there, boom, it blows up in your opponent's face. And then every turn, you take 1 card off of every one, so they cool down. So really, really powerful things might take like 4 cards. But you can only use it, every 4 rounds at best. It's neat. This one seems a little... I like the theme here a little more, the deserty shifting sand stuff. And they have a new card type, which sounds good. It's probably fine just to play this on its own. The other one didn't really scream like it needed an expansion, to be honest.
No, okay.
It's one of those games that I did not think, and usually I do in this kind of game, but I was like, no, it's enough. It's fine.
What is going on in this picture?
There's one boy here who's like, I want dice for Christmas. And she's like, you get the kit.
Who's controlling?
Yeah.
Who's the bad guy in this picture?
The mist.
The
Definitely both kids. The
One of
fire-
them is a child of the corn. The other one loves cabbage.
Dumbest joke. What on earth? All right, Bullet Universe. So the
I think
Bullet
this is yours to
series of
speak
games.
on.
Go ahead, Tom.
The Bullet
those look
series
like
game-
those look like Wii covers,
Oh, I thought the same
Absolutely.
thing.
right? I just
checked it
noticed that
twice.
actually. They kind of look like Wii
I
covers.
immediately thought that.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, is this a new video game? Like, yep.
All right, so it's definitely made to be look like a video game because it plays like a video game.
Okay.
So in this game, which is essentially an abstract strategy game, you are shooting bullets at your opponent, but not really. You're pulling
Well, I hope
tokens
not
from a
really.
bag. Well, they're called bullets, but I mean, anyway. You're pulling tokens from a bag, and they're dropping down on your board like Tetris.
Oh,
And,
jeez.
and if your row fills up, then you bust and you'll take some damage. That means a bullet got through. These are bullets coming at you. But each character will make patterns.
This is just like in real life. 7 people shoot me, and I'm like, line up the bullets.
Yeah.
Impenetrable.
Okay.
Each character has different ways to get rid of them. Usually it's by making specific shapes on the board. Then you get rid of that whole shape, and then certain ones of those you can then shoot back at your opponent.
Okay.
He loves everything.
I hate everything about this.
Oh, you know what? It's a very good game. I like it. I don't love the theme. The theme is, what did he call him? The guy who designed it called him a cute 'em up, and I really dislike that terminology.
Shoot 'em up.
No, I'm serious. He says that's a
Give
whole.
that man a raise.
No, he says it's a genre. I didn't dare search it to see
Cute
if
'em
it's
up.
true.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
typing that in
Googling
my
it
Google.
today.
I
No.
like that cat
Save
bomb.
search off.
I'll tell you what, though,
On.
my daughters love the theming of it. They love that each of these characters has their own story. They each have their own soundtrack because it's like a 2-minute time frame that you're doing all this.
Got it.
So the soundtracks are very anime. The whole thing's a very strong anime, and they're very asymmetrical. They have a very thing, and then each one of them can be flipped over to become a boss, and you can play cooperatively against that boss.
I think your quote in
Oh.
here actually says the game is very asymmetrical, like just
Yeah.
the way you
Or
said
they
it
all
right
feel
now.
very different or something. Yeah.
Well, I like that part, and some of them I
Yeah.
like playing more than others, just because I like certain powers better than other ones, and some are easier to play than others. There's been 2 sets so far that I know of, and I believe then this is just a whole
Bullet
bunch
Heart.
more.
There's Bullet Heart.
And Bullet
Star.
Bullet Star, now Bullet Universe. Right, this is Bullet Paw.
Bullet paw.
And then,
Bullet.
what is that one?
Bullet
Tom?
Palette.
Palette, yeah.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
Bullet
not,
Paint. How
I'm
about
not
Bullet Paint?
defending the names.
It's a
It's
palette
one of the
paint palette.
dumbest names
Oh.
in all of gaming, and that includes the game.
Bullet Butt.
But
Bullet peach.
they should. I think they're trying to change it. It's just Bullet, right? You know, it's the game
But then
is
how do you
Bullet.
know which one it is?
You have to say Bullet Paw, Bullet Paint,
I
Bullet
just-
Star, Bullet Heart.
Anyhow, it's a very popular. It's fun.
I
And
know a lot of people who like this game.
If you like Tetris style games,
Yeah.
you'll like it.
I think the
should try
gameplay
it.
looks interesting. For me, it's a theme. This is not a theme or an art or anything that I have. It's
Really,
I have
records?
negative interest in
Bullet
this.
bullet vinyl. Is that what's going on?
That's
That's a lot of bullet dollars.
yeah, but how does vinyl for this work? It's like, okay, like with the way it is now, I just press play on the phone.
It's another hipstery thing. Just shut up
You gotta
and take
run
it.
over and
Yeah.
put the
That's a
needle on
thing,
the
yeah.
back and start playing.
Watch out, Tom. I'm gonna loom you a turntable, okay?
Y'all don't know what you're talking about. My kids like looms. All right.
Oh.
Hey, we're back to dice. Here's dice already done.
Oh, gross.
We can talk about dice now. We're playing RPG, so now that's
Right now,
Oh,
we
my
suddenly
God.
know. You know what a D20 is now.
Absolutely.
And you can usually
One out
you
of
can
20
identify
times
it.
I can identify it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is called short rest. I thought it was a musical thing at first, and I realized, God, a short rest like the D&D
Yes.
thing. So
There's one set in here that I really like.
this one. I really like Gone Fishing.
Gone Fishing's pretty nice looking.
That's not the one.
My problem with these is I feel like the stuff isn't mixed very well, so it's very splotted.
It's, I think, on purpose. It's a little goopy,
And
yeah.
I don't like that.
Okay, it's not that one.
Why isn't it that one, Tom?
This one?
Why couldn't it be Wildberry Tea?
Is it really that one?
It's that one.
I think it's a little hard to read.
I think you're hard to read.
I don't know. It's called
Steve and I
Wildberry
have a
Tea.
Snickers bar before we started today.
I don't know what it means.
You don't like this one? No, I think this one looks great.
I think that one looks good.
Looks kind of Christmassy from here.
Yeah, it's a little too
Almost
jolly.
festive.
Okay? I want my dice to hurt.
Keeping watch is they're like, we have some extra colors
that's
left
like-
over.
Yeah, might as
that's
well
the
just call it the
bottom.
leftovers.
Yeah.
No, I like the peachy ones, yeah.
Well, how much are they? I did not look at this.
They're not expensive, like $15.
Those peachy ones remind me of Arizona green tea. I think they're going for like a very like natural berry tea. And I was
Yeah.
like, 99 cents per can.
Yeah, they
gonna
look
pay it
good
with
to me.
dimes.
Those dice look
do like
good.
those 99-cent canned drinks.
I get
They
so
were
mad
99
when
cents
we go there
in
not
Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay. Food Chain Magnate Special Edition. So, in a reverse from what they said in the past, the folks who made Food Chain Magnate, Splotter, always said, nobody wants good graphics. We're not here for good graphics. You just want a good game. Then they were offered money. So they decided to work with Lucky Duck in a one-time only. They'll never, ever do it again. Unless, of course, it makes so much money and people clamor for it.
And hey, would you look at that? People want it. They do want the one that looks good. $1 million worth of wanting.
How many backers is that?
I mean,
Does
this
it
is
say-
like
4,003.
It's really expensive.
Okay,
It
that's
is.
my problem with this.
4,000. It's expensive.
This is overly expensive, and they just recently, a couple days ago, were like, new pledge, cheaper pledge, 200 euros. It's like, oh,
Wait, how much is it normally?
$2.99.
Yeah.
Does that
100.
still include the expansion or no?
I don't remember. Let me come back. It's
It's
here's the-
299 euros or dollars or whatever?
Yeah.
yes.
Here's the thing.
It
is
doesn't
that-
come with the 3D buildings. Is the main difference.
Okay, here's the thing. Keep
crap.
in mind. A Splotter game is $100-ish, right? $80 to $100.
Yes.
The expansion, which I think is folded into this one, doubles that cost again.
Yeah.
This is slightly more expensive.
You know,
That's
you know what?
true, I
That's a
guess,
good
yeah,
point. That's
that
a
is
good
true.
You're
point.
right,
Yeah.
okay? I'm just saying, if I'm buying it, I want the horse with the carriage. Okay, if I'm paying $100, don't give me no horseless carriage. Give me the horse.
Wonderful analogy.
You understand? That's one of the... Yeah.
Do you want this fabric money?
Oh.
It's like it says it's tear resistant.
This is upgrades while keeping the feel. I don't know. What is it? I've seen linen
Okay.
paper money. Like Dice Town had that. And it's kind of what they make
Yeah.
rule books out of now. Sometimes they make it out of that linen stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What's it feel like?
I think all the
That's
people who play
interesting.
this game are still going to just use their poker chips.
That's
because
fair.
I think a lot of people have just gone to that. But that sounds neat. I would prefer that over just like straight paper.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think this looks really cool. This is a fantastic upgrade because there are parts of Food Chain Magnate that don't look that bad. I think objectively this looks better. It's just clear, right?
That's not even close. The only thing that looked good about the original one was the art itself.
The
They had
art on the
some
cards
50
and stuff.
artwork. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. This is more of a this is more detailed painted and everything. I like the look of it. The 3D buildings and all that stuff I think is over the top. You don't need a miniature billboard to, when you put out an advertising here that says this is a billboard. I got it, right? I can pretend things in my mind. I don't need a miniature for everything.
No.
That being said, if people want a stupid, great deluxe edition of a game, why not one that people already know and think are great, think is great and everything? I have no love for this game. I really don't personally. I've played it 3 times, and I think I like it a little bit less each time I play it.
There's
But
no way I can like it less than I do.
But it's undoubtedly like a masterful design, and the card management part of it is super fun and super good. It just doesn't feel good when you or someone else at the table is completely shut out from turn 1 of the game. I just don't like that
Yeah.
feel.
What?
Yeah,
Okay, so
I know,
this
it
is
has a
this
huge,
is
like, learning
Splatter's
curve, and it's-
philosophy is
Screw you! That's the philosophy.
no. Their philosophy is if you can't lose on the first turn, then the first turn doesn't matter.
Then why have a first turn?
Yeah.
That's their philosophy.
But if you lost
I
on the-
love that philosophy. It's such a negative
But
philosophy.
here, like, yeah, but if you lost on
Like,
the
instead of
first-
saying, like, if you can't win on your first turn, you know what I mean? That's not what they're saying. They're saying if you can't lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, Friedrich Nietzsche is like, whoa, holy smokes!
Sorry, go
No, I
ahead.
was gonna say, like, for me though, it's like, okay, but if I lose on my first turn, then why play 7 more turns? You know, that's where I'm
Because you
like,
paid $100 for the
no, I
game.
didn't. I
That's
didn't
why.
hit the button.
I'm just saying this is. I don't know the game at all. I haven't played it. I'm hearing wonderful things. But this is a lovely looking production. Lucky Duck
Yes.
knocked it out of the park. And if you're going to do it with any game, do it with one of the best games ever regarded, right? Do that.
And I do like that you're coming into it knowing if you like this game. I would
Probably.
assume a lot of people there's not a lot of people backing this. They're like, oh, I've been interested in that game. Let me check it out. No, they have their copy of this and the expansion and they love it and maybe it's wearing out.
Yep, and
or
they're
they want
admitting to
all the-
themselves, oh, artwork is nice on the eyeballs.
What?
You know, it feels good to look
Do you
at
think
nice
they'll do another
things.
one?
I think so.
Which one would they do next? This is easily their most popular.
Oh, hands down.
Oh,
yeah.
Duck Dealer.
I think
What about the donkey
Roads
one?
and Boats.
Yeah, Roads and
Roads
Boats.
and boats, maybe.
And it's like a donkey, and now like everything is the same, but the donkey looks nice. That's what I want.
or Antiquity maybe.
I want the opposite. I want everything to look amazing,
And
but
the
that same
same-
donkey.
Terribly.
But here's the
drawn.
thing, I hate this game. I'm still gonna put one in Dice Tower Library. I've actually really upgraded to one we have. I think some of my upgrades are better than these.
Does it get played?
Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah,
People
that's
really,
cool.
the people who like it love it. It's very
Yes.
divisive.
Yeah, it is.
It's a love or hate game because I know some people who love really heavy Lacerda Euro games, but they still dislike this one. This is so in your face.
It's so unforgiving.
Yeah, and like the first time I played, well, the first and only time I played it, I lost 800 to 40. I'm not
Was that on
exaggerating.
your first turn or your second turn?
All right. Expect delays. I gotta say, my initial reaction to this theme is like, no, next, because I hate this so much in real life. A delayed plane flight is one of my least favorite things in
It's
the world.
train, actually.
Right.
It's subways, but yeah.
Well,
It's about the New York sub. Or the,
I'm just saying delays
Yeah.
in general are just not
Underground
fun.
planes are my least favorite kind of airplane.
That's right. Anyway, no, this looked
not
really
late,
cool.
but they are.
I was looking at this. It looked kind of interesting. I like the look. I like the graphic design, what was going on. And then I realized, and you'll enjoy this, that this is from the same people who put out that co-op game. The IKEA co-op.
Oh, the one where it shows the guys
Oh.
folding
Yeah.
things
Team
together?
lift thing or
And
whatever.
it's like, I'm out.
I'm backing up pretty
Like it
quickly.
was terrible.
I didn't play it. I heard
was
you guys talking
worse.
about it.
Then Food Chain Magnate.
Come on now.
It was not my favorite.
So it's from the same people, unfortunately. I think this looks much better, but
yeah.
I love that.
To be fair, I think that one was kind of like a riff on it's hard to put together, that kind of stuff, and we said we just think
Yeah.
they missed the mark on that.
Yeah.
To the point of frustration. I'm frustrated with the furniture. I don't want to be frustrated with the game. This looks like it does have a little bit more game to it.
it is funny they keep picking themes that are about frustration.
They are. That is.
That's interesting.
As all our
It's a
comments are
therapy
mentioning,
session.
this is a properly named Kickstarter. So
Don't
yeah.
expect delays.
I will say it was
yeah.
really funny as I was looking at the shipping, their quotes, that kind of stuff, and it was like, oh, expect delays. I'm like, wait. Oh yeah, it's the name of the game. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, this
tell
will
the
have
shipping
to.
thing.
This will have to prove itself to me because I have that hesitation from hearing you guys talk about co-op. But it's a neat theme. It's a neat a little approach to
Yeah.
a small little game. That sounds cute.
I like the idea of it being in the box cover. I mean, I know it's kind of gimmicky, but I was like, oh, that's cute. It's double layered. You're just unfolding it. There it is. That's a neat way to incorporate that. So, I don't know.
Firefighters on Duty board game. So this is from Artipia game. And this one is essentially a spin-off on the engine of Project Elite. Except you're fighting fires, and it's not so much about minis. There's a bit minis. There's several differences here. One, there's all these firefighters on the board, but you don't control a specific one. You control an engine that's moving around, and then everyone controls the firefighters together. And that is all I need to know. I want it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I was excited. This image, really got me really excited, and then I thought it was like a book, and it's like, oh, and here's your board. Oh no, that's just the setup instructions. I know. I was so disappointed.
Still, I do love
big
the
for that.
I
Yeah,
love the
it is,
loading the
but-
fire engine and driving
so
around.
cool.
And I got if this is good, this is gonna kill the other firefighting game.
Flashpoint Fire Rescue?
Yes.
That one's not real time, though. That's a very, very different thing.
No, I understand that, but the real time to me, I don't love real time actually in most games, but when has a point, and this one is like, the fire's burning hot!
Yes.
It just works for me.
Right,
It
right.
really does. And Project Elite, that alien invasion feel, and it kind of brings the tension up and really sells that theme. And I think Firefighters is just a slam dunk on the theme for
As a
that
theme, yeah.
feeling as well. I am so stoked about this one.
I also think it looks really good. If you remember, Project Elite from Artipia Games is one of the most derided projects ever in terms of miniatures. It looks like they printed some miniatures and let them sit out in the sun for a couple of weeks.
Oh,
And then Simon remade it, making it look nice.
I've never seen the original.
It's
Very
rough.
chunky.
Yeah.
It's very like they're a little soft with the focus,
Yeah, it's
Got it.
blobby
with the
kinda.
detail.
Yeah, they weren't great, but this one looks really good because the other miniatures are the fire engines. I like having everything else as meeples, the screen printed meeples. Yeah, this one I'm very pumped about.
Those custom dice look good, which that's one of my one of my favorite things about Project Elite 2 is the different dice and how they do different things and they look different. And I think they nailed that here again. The custom dice are different than in Project Elite. It's the hit point or your firing dice. I love the custom dice versus the number dice. So it's quick, readable in that real time atmosphere. But the custom ones are very clear with a single image and single color. It pops. I'm so excited.
It also doesn't look. I mean, it doesn't look like a reskin either. It looks like a new game.
Oh
it
gosh,
does.
yeah, no.
Very much so. Yes.
It's its own thing.
Yeah,
Right.
because you have to kick doors down, you have to clear debris. There's so, like, mechanically, it sounds so different.
Yeah.
All right, Wasabi, a game of raw skills. So this is this is from Kids Table Board Games, right?
Yeah.
This is a reprint of a much older game that originally was published by Z-Man Games. Although the artwork from the original game was from Josh Capel, who's on the Kids Table Board Game team. His wife runs the company.
This is his game. He's co-designer also.
Oh, he is also the co-designer. Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, the cover, while it looks different, doesn't look that different.
It's very close.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was confused when I saw this. I was like, this is the old game, right?
If you've never played this is essentially Scrabble with pictures. You're trying to build.
That sounds a lot worse than the game is.
That sounds really bad.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Oh no! What I mean
This
is
is a
you're
good
trying to
game.
make specific rows of different things to score them. It's different rows of sushi
On a shared board or your own
Yeah,
board?
on a
Shared
shared
board.
board.
So people are touching my board that I'm trying to make something on?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
There are
don't
little
think we're running
recipes, so you'll see little recipes. Go back up a little bit there, Tom. So like right there is a recipe, right? So it has those 3 ingredients. If they're ever in a row or in a column on the board, you can score that. If you have them in exactly the right order, then you get bonus wasabi
The
points.
wasabi sauce, yeah.
And then you have all these little action cards that let you switch things around the way you need them to, pick them back up, move them around, whatever.
I like this section's for real nerds. You know who you are. Thanks. It looks like it sounds like they've streamlined a lot of things. Getting rid of the challenge tokens is good. I don't know. I like this game, but I remember thinking that it's very light. It's not a complex game at all. I mean, it fits in their line, Kids Table Board Games. It's just an easy one, but man, this one looks gorgeous. The pieces, they really upgraded that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The art's the
good.
same.
I like the original game a lot. It's been ages since I played it, to be fair, but I owned it for a long time, and I like it. I think it's an engaging, light, simple game, tile laying, manipulation, and it sounds like what they're doing here is, kind of bringing it up to speed a little bit, modernizing it a little bit. This looks really good.
All right. Next, we have Singularity.Exe.
That's it. Run it. No questions asked.
That's true. If you have an EXE file, press enter.
Don't worry about it.
I always forget about the different files. Once you go to the back, I'm like, oh, that's right, EXE, RAR.
This one is from a company that I love the name of the company. It's Octothorpe Games. And that's just a highfalutin way of saying the number sign. It's just kind of like saying ampersand instead of and sign. And I wish I liked the way that the game looked more, because I like the company name.
Well, that was a long way to say that. But yes,
I don't like the look of this one. Yeah, I liked the Colossi game more than I like this one.
This one,
And they kind of feel a little similar.
yeah, and the game, and it's doing pretty well, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, isn't the project doing pretty well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to ask y'all if I'm missing something. Is this based on a video game or something? Because that was a real disconnect for me. I was like, oh,
Think so.
what am I missing?
I think the art's very popular here. It's very anime style.
Oh, you're right. Maybe that's why I don't like it.
It's bullet.exe.
It looks interesting. I'm very hesitant on this one. This is one I would have to play before I can give a call out to it. But it looks like a CCG in a box, right?
Yeah.
It's not collectible or anything, but it looks like it's built to be that way.
I'm so picky with that kind of game. I like them, but I'm really picky with them. It seems like they get made a lot, which is weird. I figured CCG style games had their day. Not so.
No.
But
Kickstarter
are
has
people
shown that.
still seeking that?
I think
feeling,
people like that. Yeah, everybody kind of wants that jolt of it being
Yeah.
1996 and they're getting into something.
All right, Cargo Empire. Dominate logistics with only one action. That's a very, very strange tagline. I think I understand it.
They
but I wouldn't use it as a selling point.
They really, really wanted you to know that in the game you only take one kind of action.
And that they want you to dominate logistics.
Yes.
And they wanted to tell you both of those.
Yes.
Message received.
Miladius, I'm off and on with their games. They make a lot of okay games. I don't often make games I hate, but they make a lot of okay games. But they've made some pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
They don't use Kickstarter for all their projects. So let me see. They've done. What do they got here that they have done it for? That's not out yet that I know of, or I don't have it. Mini Express. I don't know who played that.
I have played that one.
Actually, I guess most of their projects are not Kickstarter. Most of their projects they just been published.
It looks like they go for like the train ones for sure. Seem to make it on here.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
interesting. Maybe they find their audience here more than just releasing them.
I was about to say, yeah. I mean, we see, I don't know if we've stopped covering them because we never have anything to say about them. But like a lot of 18xx games and stuff wind up on Kickstarter because just a good way to kind of find that audience that likes
Right.
that. And this sounds interesting. I like logistical games.
I love pick up and deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a pick up and deliver game where you only take one kind of action. There's one action.
Oh,
type.
really?
It's always just pick up and deliver.
How many actions?
Oh.
There's one kind.
Is it two?
No.
Can you
It's one
dominate?
action.
But can
Zero?
you dominate?
No, one. So you set up the whole game, then you take one action, and then you score. It's a very short game. It's about
It looks like
So you
though,
can lose on
taking
the
that
first
one
turn.
action lets you
You
take
can
another
win
action.
or
Or
lose on the
lose on the
first.
That's
first
not quite
turn.
true,
Oh,
right?
okay. It's a good game then.
Yeah.
You're taking one action to take other actions, though.
no. Don't besmirch their name.
So I was thrown off when it showed like a hand of like bonus cards and moving up all sorts of different tracks. I'm like,
It's like,
okay,
wait,
good.
that looks like more action.
No, it's always same action, like a bonus action, same thing.
Yeah.
Which I was concerned when it said like there's one kind of action in this game. I was like, this is an abstract pretending to be a logistics game because let me tell you, there's more exciting themes you could do. But seeing so much track movement, seeing like card bonus play, I'm into this one. I'm excited to see what it actually becomes.
The theme is mega dry and boring.
To you.
I like to me, of course, that's everything I say. But I like the sounds of the game. If I'm in the mood for something not like, again, sort of visually exciting or a stimulating theme, I could see myself poking at this one just to see how puzzly it is, how kind of engaging mentally it is.
June? That's not too far away. Okay.
Oh, wow. Must be pretty well developed.
Well, it's easy to make because it's only got one action in it. So
One component, one action, one piece of art. I was actually, no joke, the other day I thought I saw a game, I think they used one piece art because they just did one big one and then cut it up on the
He says, oh, that's
cards.
hilarious.
that's good stuff. That's the way to do it.
Amazing.
I cannot pronounce this. Eschaton?
I think so.
It's pronounced Iconoclasm. I'm not going to try the first one.
Eschaton?
A brutal cooperative expansion for the cult strategy deck building game. And this is definitely a cult strategy game. I've seen them at cons before, and I always recognize them because their booth is basically black. And
It always
their games
looks like
are,
this.
it looks like that, and they have all these games. And I know people play this game. I just haven't met anyone. I don't think. Like when people talk about, oh, this was at Gen Con like the last 3 years, I think, and no one ever mentions it. But it obviously people are backing it and playing it. Maybe it is a cult.
That explains
It is one funny one I saw on BGG. I went to go look because this expansion is cooperative, and the original game is not a cooperative game.
Oh,
so
I didn't
this
realize
makes the
that.
game cooperative.
Oh, I didn't realize
The
that.
original one's just a
Okay.
deck building game, and now it's a deck building game in which you fight
Cooperate.
together against some baddie. But anyway, so I go to BGG to like confirm that, and one of the few reviews on there is like titled something like Tom Vassell will never review this game.
Oh yeah, I'm reviewing it now.
So I
That's how
thought it
you
was
get him to do
funny. I
something.
think they were joking about the theme. You know what I mean?
It's not even the theme that bothers me. It's just that everything is so dark, and I mean, like literally dark.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
like, oh, I have to
Yeah.
like squint to play these cards. We need to play this in bright light.
I feel like I have to like right now, even just looking at our monitor here. I'm like, can you turn up the
Yeah,
brightness?
I feel
can
myself
barely
like
see it.
getting closer to the screen, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. And again, so maybe what I don't know. Maybe I'll play it at some point. Like Mike said in the comments, their booth is always crowded. I see people there. I maybe there's more crossover from RPGs I don't know about.
Maybe, I don't know.
All right.
Maybe there's more crossover from food chain magnate enthusiasts.
Chop stacks.
No.
Florida. Florida!
Is it Florida?
Is it? Orlando. It is.
Let's get Dice Tower East.
I get it. You came up with an idea. You maybe should have looked online to see, like, have 10 other people come up with this idea of using chopsticks as the main mechanism of a board game.
I know. This is
Also-
not a unique idea.
I don't know. I feel like it's also, I like dexterity games, but not if they're like skill based. Like I can use chopsticks, but I am very mediocre at it. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's just immediately, it's like, oh, who's the best at chopsticks? Not who's the best stacker.
Yeah, but this guy went to the effort to go to the local game crafting store and bought a bunch of doodads and threw
Oh,
them in
yeah.
a box.
That he did.
Again, I would. This would be more interesting to me if this is the first time I saw this, or the second, or the third. There are a lot of chopstick games. Just do a search for chopsticks on Board Game Geek.
I will give him this. One action.
All right,
Tom Vassell
Nocturne.
will never review chopsticks.
Nocturne is yet another smash hit. I know it's only $143,000 only, but it's also 5,000 backers because the game's 30. And this
These
team
guys just keep knocking it out of the
is
park.
so on fire, man.
Good night.
Flat out games.
I will say, I think all their previous games look better than this one. Even Calico, that I'm not a fan of, I've kind of and I've cooled on it. I think they all look better than this one.
What about the one from last year? That's the one I'd like the least.
Verdant.
Verdant, I
Verdant.
like better than
I like
I
that.
like the look of it, and I played that.
Verdant was busier, I think, artistic.
You don't like these pictures of these foxes?
I like
though?
the pictures just fine. The game sounds like not a winner for me. I know I just read the word winner. But
Well, not the 2019 Lucci Award.
what do I know? Lucci's got this on lock. You know what other thing struck me as I was understanding the game, and they're like, "Oh, you make sets." I'm like, "Okay." Oh, some are special tiles. Okay. And then the one thing that really struck me was when they explained a little bit of the gameplay. I'm like, "Oh, this is Metropolis. It's the exact same like mechanism as Metropolis, where you like put out a building as a bid, and then you have to go with a bigger number next to it. If you're able to cut off a
right.
section,
Yeah.
then you get the one in there you get with like just your 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, you're right.
wow, guys, that's exactly that mechanism, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Except with squares. Okay, so it's a grid, a square grid, and I'm
Why
like,
does
okay,
it bother you that it's the same mechanism, though?
because it's such a unique mechanism, I guess.
See, I guess I'm in
You
the
can only
opposite.
copy normal ordinary
Oh.
No,
mechanisms.
I
You can
think
only
I just
copy deck
because it
building.
screams like I'm this thing. You know what I mean? If it was just another drafting game, I'm like, oh, it's like 40 other games. I don't know. Drafting's not that specific.
See, I guess I like it. I like that mechanism is kind of catching on to be used again. I think the example that comes to mind is like in Robinson Crusoe, how you make a choice in, and that choice because of that choice you shuffle a card in, and that might come back later, and you don't know if it's to help or haunt. And that's a mechanism that I love, and I haven't seen it very often until I saw it
Right.
again in Frostpunk, and I was like, yes, I've been waiting for someone else to use this because I want more like that. And so I think that's how I felt about this. Like, oh, I like that. That's exciting. I'm seeing that mechanism again. So for me, it was the
Yeah.
opposite effect because I don't think
Yeah.
it's a direct copy of the game. It's,
Yeah.
it's a use of a mechanism.
It seemed like the most interesting part.
Yeah, and I agree, and I think that's true for
Everything
me. That's what was
else
exciting.
that I saw here was like, the rest just seemed like pretty. by the numbers kind of set collection. Get more mushrooms. They get better as you get more of them. Yes, like that's
or
how.
you can spend a mushroom with another thing to fulfill a recipe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, like it came across tired to me. It really did. Watching the video, understanding how the game, I'm like, I don't know if it just struck me at the wrong moment.
That's
I'm just
really
like, I'm
interesting.
tired
Because
of this game and I haven't even played it yet.
That's interesting. I haven't played Fit to Print, but I don't like Calico. I was fine on Verdant, but I love Cascadia, and so because of that, I was a little like, as they're touting the designers, I was like, I don't know, but the gameplay is what sold me. I don't care for the look either.
This is a pretty strong. That's so why we're going.
Yeah, I don't care for this
Sobel,
one.
man.
I don't think it's her best. Or even close.
Well, it's. Did she do Fox Experiment also?
No.
Because it really looks like Fox Experiment. The foxes in this, the critters, really look like those.
They look like foxes.
I guess,
That's
but
how
it's
they
also
look.
the style.
I don't know. I didn't get that from it either.
Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
So I did. The other day I was talking to AEG and I was curious on.
Oh, okay.
You name drop much?
Wow.
Oh my word! I wanted
Who
to-
at AEG?
the lowest possible position there.
Okay, good.
It was the
good.
president. But anyhow, no, I want to clarify the relationship between these two because I've never quite understood it.
Right.
So Flat Out Games, they run the Kickstarter. It's their game. They kickstart it, and that's them. And then once it's kickstarted and produced, then AEG picks it up and does the retail arm in at least North America, and puts the games out there.
Okay.
I don't know. That was information to me because I wasn't quite sure. I wonder if AEG did Points Out first. I don't remember Points Out being on Kickstarter, but anyhow.
I don't think it got kickstarted. No, I think that one just came out.
Kind of like 10, I think, was the same way.
Yes.
No, I'm curious about this because I like that mechanism. I also think most people don't know Metropolis at this point. Like, I wouldn't have known it. And I've been gaming pretty seriously for like a decade. And it was news until one day you were like, let's try this.
To be fair, here's the thing. Roxley is reprinting that game.
This is a good time.
It's going to come out
do
after this one. And people are going to be like, oh, it's like Nocturne. Y'all ripped off Nocturne. And I'm going to find those people. And I'm going to choke them out with one action.
Skyrise should be,
Next, Wildlife
should be
Dice.
sooner than that. Hopefully.
Wildlife Dice. Joey's backed this, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, wow. Look at that. 333 backers, 33 hours to go. We're just,
$3,000 too.
Wow.
someone needs to drop a $300 pledge. It is 333333333.
Drop $306. Do it right now. The company's just like, why? Dice Tower! No!
I know, that's horrible. This, I saw some of their other ones. They've had a couple of successes.
I don't know.
This one does not look that interesting.
I thought this was cute up until I saw that, you roll dice and it's that whole, I rolled a 5, that means it's this color. I rolled this, that means it's that, like the
Yeah.
numbers, it's multiple steps to get to the writing part. And then when you write, you just draw a symbol. And I was like,
Color it.
you draw a symbol and color it. And I was just like, this is not one that's up my alley.
I'm also concerned because those sheets look great, but that's a lot of ink.
That is a lot of ink,
It's a lot of ink to print out.
a lot of
There's a lot of information also on this side. You're really just playing over there. And once they showed me this, I was like, oh.
Maybe you only need to print this part out, and the other part you can print and just leave out.
Maybe that's what I would do. I'd just print the informational part once and then print a grid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
If that's the
play
case,
this on
then they
your
should have made it
iPad.
printing that way, so that you're not
Yeah.
printing the other stuff out. Unless you need to cross it off. Do you need to cross it off? Do you need to mark it at all?
I don't remember. I
don't
I didn't
know.
make it that far down, so I was
Yeah.
like, not interested.
Yeah, I thought it looked okay. It's
Yeah.
kind of where I was at too.
It looks fine. It looks like a print and play is probably good for this game because it doesn't look super robust. But then there's that other issue we're talking about of, do I want to print it?
But then why, right?
Well, and also
Yeah.
one of my big arguments or I guess not arguments, but things in favor of these is because then you can just make a PDF of it and play it on the iPad or something like that. But again, if I'm having to draw a symbol and make a color on it, it's just a little, it's outstays the scope of what I want it to be.
All right, let's go to mushrooms. We have Undergrove. This is designed by Elizabeth Hargrave and Mark Wooten and AEG. This is the second.
You were recently talking to AEG, weren't you?
This is the
Oh.
second game that she's done with AEG. I think Mariposas was the
He
first.
just did.
Yes, with Mark Wooten as well as the
they
developer.
worked on it too. Together.
Was Mark Wood in Mariposas?
Yeah.
He developed it.
Okay.
They talk about the story. That's how they met, and they
I
fast
Gotcha.
friendship. Yeah, it's part of the
We played
thing.
this here. I played it. Were you in this, Camille?
I was.
And you
I
were.
think it's all.
Yeah.
Was it the four?
No,
No,
you
it
did
was
not play it.
No, I avoid mushrooms
Joe
whenever
Mike.
possible.
It was Joe Mike.
Joe Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which means that they lost for sure, like big time. That's all I know what that means.
Right. There's no dice. Mike had a chance.
I don't know where I stand on this one, folks. There's a lot of interesting ideas on it. I would like to play it again with mixing things up. My first play did not blow me away. I thought there were some interesting ideas, but it felt like we were all kind of doing the same stuff. I didn't feel like very differentiated from you're like, what are you doing? We're planting trees, right? And then using mushrooms to.
Yeah, so you take the role of trees, you're spreading seedlings, growing stuff, and then you're planting those mushroom square tiles around to kind of feed you. It's very thematic,
Yes.
and I like that thematic aspect of it, but I was surprised that the tiles didn't feel very different. Like the
Yeah, that
actions
was
you
my
can get
thing.
from them weren't like, kaplow, I have this amazing thing, kaboom, oh, I want to go over there because that looks amazing. It was all kind of even.
Well, I pretty much, like as I was playing, I kind of just built up, oh, I need this, okay, I have a tile for that, I put it out, and then I kind of just used the same 3 or 4 tiles for the whole game, made my own little engine, if you will, up here. Oh, you put that out? Okay, cool, I don't have to play that, put that tile out, now I'll just use yours, save me a step, boom. It just felt kind of, I think a little repetitive. I had no problems with the game, but I was kind of lukewarm on it.
I really do like the art.
The holiday trees are cool.
I didn't get the theme as much. I'm such a huge nature theme lover, that's like one of my top game themes. And this one just I didn't feel it as much as I'd want.
You know what it was? It was thematic in almost a logistics way.
That's what it was. It felt very mechanical.
Yeah, and I'm not poking fun. I really do mean that, like the whole symbiosis of stuff. But
Yeah.
it is kind of logistical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said what a weird thing to say. Most games players are doing the same things as each other. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the tiles that were out there were supposed to be like, ooh, go to this tile and take this action. I was like, oh, great. So I put out a couple tiles. I'm like, ooh, I'll go do Chris's. Oh, he put out basically the same tiles I did. And Camille put out the same tiles I did.
Yeah.
So.
Well, as well as I go to this tile, and then I go to that tile, and then I go to this tile, and I go to that tile. Okay, cool. I can see my end game here. Boom, that's my most efficient. Like you just kind of.
And maybe we just
Honing
didn't see
quick.
enough differentiation. Maybe there's more. So, yeah. I didn't dislike it. I just was kind of like, meh for now, but we'll see. Hey, more dice! Christmas dice! Yay! I really like those snow dice. I think they look really great.
The snow dice look good. My
They
only
look pretty
concern
good.
is at certain tilts, because the die is so see-through, like the blue 2 is opposite that big snowflake, and then the 2 disappears in the snowflake. But they do look really sharp.
I
Like,
do
they
like
look
it
cool.
when 2 disappears in the snow.
It's very,
Like-
very sagely advice of you.
I like the dice.
more.
I just wish you're right. They're a little too translucent. That's their biggest problem.
I think this is kind of the holiday gimmick. Oh, I pull up I know they're not the greatest. They're not, the most visual, but I'm playing a game on it's Christmas Eve. Let's use these dice instead. I think it's kind of a cute gimmicky thing.
If there's one thing I've learned though about dice is if you want to sell dice on Kickstarter, make them themed about anything in the world and show a picture of them with that thing. Whether it's food, animals, colors, nature.
I will say at least this theme, like, hey, it actually has little hot chocolate mugs in it. I was like, at least there's that, because there are some, even though the nature ones the earth ones that we covered earlier, I was like, oh, you got leather out of that. Huh. I don't,
I prefer
like, so,
those than this.
I prefer them visually, but I'm saying these at least look like the theme that they're trying to make.
I like
When
John's
they're inspired,
dice.
it's like, no, they're just green.
John makes good dice. He made those little bricks of dice that we have here, Dice Tower ones, that we give the people sometimes.
The half
Oh, in the
yeah.
Yeah,
tower?
the half-seas. That's probably his biggest sellers, those half-seas dice, and I like those a lot.
Oh, he does make good dice. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea Deluxe reprint. So this game is back from Game. Now this is interesting that they're putting this up on GameFound while they put up their other projects. Does anyone know if we'll talk about it next week, I guess, the Cthulhu one.
Cthulhu, Tiny Epic Cthulhu.
Is that on Kickstarter or GameFound? Does anyone
I
know?
don't know.
It's on Kickstarter.
It is on Kickstarter,
That's
okay.
weird.
Oh,
And I wonder if it's because Kickstarter does not allow you to do the same project twice. And so that's why this is here.
Reprint.
This is not really much new content. Roy and I were talking about this because Roy knows a thing or two about this game. And I think the only bit of new content is they have these alternate combat cards. Because the combat in this game is like rock, paper, scissors, lizards, wizard, Spock. Like there's I'm going to say a number and Roy's going to just wince. I think there's like 8 different types of cards. And so when you and I get into a combat with each other, like, okay, I'm going to play Barrage, which will cancel out the effects if you play a something card, but if you play this type, it'll undo my Barrage. So it's got that. And so then it takes that and it kind of creates randomization within those types of cards. So instead of having the same 8 the whole game and like rock, paper, scissoring each other with perfect information, it creates more randomness. I don't know how I feel about that.
I am interested in this pre-painted stuff, though.
Are they like factory painted or?
Yep.
Okay.
Are ours painted? I can't remember.
I thought we had the pre-painted one.
I don't know what we have. I'll have to look it up.
I think that we did.
Anyway, this is a real-time strategy game of sorts. You're playing, you can play 4 players. Once you add an expansion, you can play up to 8 players. I've
it's
never done that.
real-time.
but
I
Roy
didn't know
knows.
that.
You mean it's a board game that simulates a real-time strategy video
it's not
game?
apologize.
real-time.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
I was like, I didn't know that.
No,
okay.
it simulates like Warcraft, those kind of games. Because you're building up, you're spreading out.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a genre of game, called real-time strategy video
Got it.
games.
Okay.
Yeah. Go mine some resources that lets you build up more
God,
stuff,
sorry.
that lets you build up new types of troops, and at some point you're like,
Have you
let's
never
go
played
fight.
a real-time strategy game?
I have no idea what you're talking about. No, like.
Oh, that's interesting. We'll teach you. It's StarCraft.
Oh,
Zerg
I
Rush!
think I'm busy.
Let's get let's throw together a LAN party.
Command and Conquer.
I've heard
Red
of that.
Alert.
I've heard of that.
Tiberian Sun.
I've
Yes.
heard of that.
All right. Evil
Have you
Dead
ever heard
2.
of Evil Dead 2? Electric blue.
The board game deluxe edition here. This is from Linvander, which their games are games with a theme.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of many of their games.
They're back,
unfortunately.
baby.
But I love a game with a theme. I did have a question
Let me see
about.
real quick what they've
Okay.
done. We'll come right back, but
Yeah.
they've
Why are there
done
2 Matt?
Gasconi's Legacy,
I don't know any of these.
Neverland's
Oh,
Legacy,
jeez.
Sherwood's Legacy,
Ooh.
You skipped one. Also
Deep.
would have.
Albion's Legacy. That's the one I've messed with. I just don't like the way they look. They feel like a Kickstarter game, full on. Now this one I'm sure is probably very similar to the other ones, but it's based on Evil Dead 2. Is Evil Dead 2 the most popular? I thought 3 was the most. Army of Darkness is the most popular, right?
Evil Dead 2 is probably the most joked about and quoted kind of one, I think.
Army of Darkness is 3.
That's where he gets the chainsaw arm.
Yeah, is that 3 or 2?
These are board
That's
games?
3.
No, movies.
These are movies. They're
Oh.
based, yeah.
Then
The
3
first
is
movie,
the best known, I think.
It's really
Is
weird. The
it?
first movie is
Okay.
a straight up horror movie.
Yes.
And then the second one, they suddenly make a hard right into half comedy, half horror. Or campy horror. Was that?
Campy horror, yeah. Very, very like blatantly goofy, strange moments.
And you have probably heard quotes from these movies
Probably.
about my boomstick comes from, this is my boomstick.
It's a shotgun.
Thank you.
Shop
My
Smart.
word!
You ever heard of Shop Smart? Shop S Smart? No.
These are Joey movies.
That's smart.
Like these are 100% like probably some of Joey's favorite movies.
I was getting ready to say, like, I want Joey's opinion on this. No offense,
Joey
Paul, but I
loves
was like,
them, I
I want to
bet.
know what he thinks of this. It seems definitely
No.
kind of style.
I'm taking the opinion that I would, if there was a good game company that was making a game about Army of Darkness or Evil Dead 2, I think I'd be interested. I don't like this for a couple reasons. I think the miniatures look really not very good at all.
Okay.
And I think the board doesn't look good, and I don't think the game looks a lot of fun.
Well, here's the thing. A movie gets away with being campy bad.
Yes.
It's a plus sometimes.
Yeah.
If it goes over the line enough, it becomes a cult classic.
Yes.
No board game that is bad enough that it's good. That's
Right.
not a thing.
Yeah. Wait right there, Tom.
You know what I mean? Like it just keeps going, and eventually it's just trash.
Yeah, I agree. This one I had a question on. I don't see the difference And I spent a lot of time here, and I'm not trying to be funny. I truly need.
All right, I want to look at this. Let's see if we can spot the difference.
What am I looking at? I'm confused.
See the image? It's
It's shifting from old to new. No joke.
that's
Wait,
the
say
old
old?
board.
it's
That's the
shifting
new
new.
one.
Wait, how do you know it's changed? Oh, it says it at the top.
Yes.
Oh.
I know there's like I see the stuff on the side. I saw the side accents, and that's all I could find. I spent a solid 4.5 minutes on this. I spent
Wow.
more
If that's
time on
their
this
changing, I
project.
would not advertise that. I'd be like, look.
And that's like the only thing. And then they show the cards next, and that's it. I was like, wait, that's the Okay, so I'm not missing anything because I was.
Well, the cards are bigger
Go
change.
back.
They are, they're huge,
Go back.
right?
I got like 4 minutes left on this.
I spent so much time.
Okay.
Well, now that you said the smoke, I see it on the side.
Right, but that's it. Like I saw that. That's all I could.
Gosh, what?
Are they trying to say, hey, this is the same game that you might know and love from
No,
2020?
they're letting you know, like, hey, we made some improvements to make it better.
They sure did. That
They-
smoke, that raises it at least 0.3 in my rating.
Huh,
Anyway.
Okay, all right.
All right,
Alrighty.
wasn't just me.
Next, we have the last game project or game-related project, colorful inserts with original artworks for popular games. So this is a new thing, and I'm not upset that this has become a thing. I think the first company to do it was
Was it Folded Space?
Folded Space to put artwork on these inserts.
There's been a
I
few
don't think they were the
makers that
first.
do
No,
this. Yeah.
I think they're actually it's because these are wood, and I've seen it on wood before Folded Space did it.
All I know is that.
Don't know who.
In fact, this project here, this is not the first of them. We've covered them before.
Oh, you're right. We have.
'Cause they've
and I
done
said the
it.
same thing then too. I'm
you
pretty
did,
sure.
yeah.
They
So I'm
sure
calling
got
you
a
on
lot
it.
of big games.
They
Yeah.
do.
Definitely.
It's really interesting. They get the actual official license, so it's the official artwork of it, and then they have the acrylic tops for it. I think these look really, really cool.
Yeah. Because I've seen some that have those acrylic tops. You showed me one. And I thought, good. Actually holds things in place.
Hold
That's
it in place,
huge.
but you can still see in it, so you know at a quick glance you can open up your box and know what you're reaching for. I really that's probably my favorite type of insert is the wooden with the acrylic tops.
That being said, I don't think I want a wooden insert for Voidfall because the box already weighs so very much and is big. And
Oh, interesting.
doesn't Voidfall have like great inserts though?
Probably have like
Did you throw
plastic
it away?
tray stuff.
We haven't opened it yet because no one wants to sort it out.
I'll sort it. I'll sort it if someone teaches me to play. I don't
Oh
mind.
no! That
Oh.
price is too high.
No.
How much
What
did
is this game, this Voidfall game?
David Turksy 4X Euro game
From Mind Clash.
from Mind
Yes.
Clash.
I just liked the box cover. I don't know.
We have not opened it yet. We have to because I want to put it in the library.
Yeah.
But even Delicia's kind of like, I don't know if I want to.
Oh, wow.
He played
okay.
that dinosaur one. So, oof. An Unconscious Mind. Like that's the thing. They picked some good, big games that probably benefit a lot from organization.
Yeah.
So I think they have some good picks, and they look stinking good.
They really do. I remember being a fan of their last project as well. I think I haven't seen Unconscious Minds. I don't know if it needs an insert and stuff, but that one definitely grabbed me. The Lost Ruins of Arnak, I wanted to like it more, but I don't want to keep that expansion separate. I wish that it was one for the base box that fit both expansions, something like that. So yeah, it's.
I think that's the
the
coolest looking one.
I think it is too, but I don't want that expansion separately.
Yeah,
You know,
I get it.
I want one box. I'm definitely more of that safe spacer.
Safe spacer. You're a
Safe spacer.
space saver.
Shop safe.
Blah, blah,
Safe
blah, blah, blah.
space.
Shop as smart.
All right, let's take a look at some non-gaming projects real quick. If you find a weird, unusual, stupid project, send it to me at tom@dicetower.com.
Bring
There's some
it.
doozies this week.
All new, plus a star Christmas tree topper and accent light.
When does this deliver? I didn't look at that.
Halloween.
Yeah, right? That's what it feels like.
July.
I will say,
July.
it looks amazing. Did you watch the video?
Yes.
Oh, it looks really good.
It looks amazing. It
Really?
looks way better than most of the games we looked at today, huh?
Okay, no.
No, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. More than one
I
action.
think it's one of those things that's going to look good when the lights are off and it's twinkly, but like during the day, it's going to be like, just kind of be that tacky
Turn it off
plastic
during
thing.
the day.
No, not with the lights. I meant just in
The only
general.
problem
It
with
doesn't look
these
good.
stars like this is they are hard to keep them upright on the tree.
Straight. They always end up going like
They're like,
high rufus, right? Yeah.
Get a better tree.
No, I'm gonna keep my $20 fake tree that
you get a better
tips
tree.
as soon as you put one ornament on it. But boy, was it cheap.
Yeah.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Charlie Brown. All right. Would you like a Rollo organizer? I definitely want a Rollo right
This
now.
is
Oh, I love
terrible.
Rollos.
This one, like for every nice thing I could say about that star, and I really did like it, this is mega dumb.
You don't want to flick a marble around?
Look.
I don't have a problem with it.
Look at her face.
Can't you already get this at like in the checkout line at Michael's or
Can
Home
you?
Goods or something? It seems like something that you would there. Just be right there next to, the colorful phone chargers.
Yeah.
And
It seems like the kind of thing you go to Five Below
Yeah.
and ignore while you're there. You know what I mean? Because this is a piece of crap. It's a little track.
Okay.
Again, it just spins around a cup.
Okay.
Well,
so mean.
There's also a place you can drop it in.
Yeah. Well, show the
Why do you want
dropping.
to slide?
Look,
Yeah,
look
what
at
else
this. Oh, wow. Look. Whee!
See?
This is so. Oh, there it is.
I
This
love.
looks terrible.
I would mess with it.
I would so straight
For,
up
like,
play with this. I think you need a
is-
Snickers.
This is like the Loom set where you're like, oh, I got this thing, and then like a week later, you're like, I still own this. I
Yeah.
own this fidget spinner that's taped to a cup.
I do say that on my desk at home, I have several things that are fidgety like this, and I mess with them months and months
Yeah.
later. I can see myself doing this. I just think it looks
Maybe
ugly.
you need
though.
this then.
I think it looks ugly, and I also think the ball will get lost.
Yeah.
It's not like there should be like one open space where you can hit it, but the rest of it's covered
As well as I think, you
Then
can
you can't
store
see it, right?
5
with a
pins.
clear thing. Why would I cover it? All right. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. Now here.
Do you want a Black
Now we're-
Panther Sonic touchscreen toothbrush? This
I
is
was
making some
dying.
money here.
I was really laughing at the video because the guy kept talking about how this has been a work of passion. I'm like,
Oh my god.
so your passion is Black Panther, great.
No,
and
it's
toothbrushing?
Yeah,
like,
he's brushing his teeth.
that's
his
what my man
passion.
was really
He
passionate
said it's
about.
no
Did he
longer be
put
a
black-
chore.
is that
It's
black
something you look
toothpaste?
forward to.
Oh yeah, use probably like a charcoal.
Charcoal
Yeah.
toothpaste.
Have you ever used a charcoal toothpaste?
No, because I
No.
don't have this toothbrush.
Yeah.
I don't like them at all. You
I
feel
don't
like you have to brush your teeth again to get the black off.
Oh really?
Yeah, they also don't taste that good at all.
Well, I'd assume
Shocking.
not.
Yeah,
I think it's fine. I don't mind charcoal toothpaste. I like it. It's fine.
I've never
I-
used it. Now I'm gonna go buy some.
Go get some.
I'm almost out of toothpaste. I think that'll be my next purchase.
Get the
All
bubble
right,
gum
you
toothpaste.
should get the Black Panther Sonic-O-Matic. Also.
It's so self-serious.
It's also the way it says that you can now track your habits. We know this has been done before, but that requires an app. This is on the toothbrush, and I'm like,
We have an
not
OLED
good.
screen
So if you
on
don't
the
brush your teeth and you
toothbrush.
walk by a toothbrush, like, hey, over here.
right?
It's just
Yeah,
so ridiculous.
All right,
No,
we're not done yet.
I hate it.
Would you like to?
Yes.
No, why would you want to take this away from me? Why don't take away
Oh,
the
I'm
hammer?
so sorry you can't hit stuff with a hammer.
No, this is like, I hate this so much.
You don't like this? Why? Because you don't get to hit the
Right?
you
Yeah, I
get
don't
the
want
steak
it. I
with the
don't
hammer.
want to do that. No, I want to. Yeah.
I thought it was really funny. The guy's like, splatter everywhere.
Everywhere.
And then he's like, taking a literal mallet to a chunk of wet chicken.
Yeah. It's all soggy.
Oh, good.
It's so soggy.
Do not cook, okay?
Oh, wait.
Do not cook.
That's how all those things always go. They're like, has this ever happened to you?
Yeah, you're like, "Bleh." Just disgusting.
No.
Dude, dry out that piece of steak or chicken before you take a hammer to it.
Also, I feel like these are all tiny cuts, right? I'm
That's
like,
exactly my
yes, my
issue.
child
Thing
would
is
like
small.
that.
There you
No.
go.
Oh, yeah,
Splat.
look at that. He
It's all on his
Look,
face.
it's like literally
He's also-
everywhere.
He's super surprised. He's like, I cannot believe.
Look at this.
Look.
Look at that splash. My goodness.
He's not even crouching down. It went all the way up 3
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah, if you're super concerned, put some saran wrap on it before you tenderize your meat.
There
Come
you
on.
go.
There's a
and
million.
you still get to hit it. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
What I will say is, I have read that certain products which are certain products which are super useful for like handicapped people have to be marketed not towards that market in order to
okay.
be more commercially viable. And so that's why you get a lot of these "has this ever happened to you" kind of things. And when I read that, I thought maybe that's what this is for, because if I if I can't actively go and tenderize my meat, this doesn't seem too bad. But for like the average person, I want to use the hammer.
Absolutely, and also I don't soak my meat before
and mechanically, this
I
also does not seem like you plug it in. If you have a physical handicap, this is not a thing you plug in and then it goes does that for you.
No,
maybe
you
the
still-
You
winding is
need
still
to so physically it still requires something of you. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. But not as weird as this.
I almost closed this one because I thought this was something else when I first saw the picture. So this is to put on your fingers. This is to put on your fingers
What you think it was?
to open poop bags in a jiffy because apparently.
Poop bags in a jiffy. That's my next Kickstarter. Poop bags in a jiffy.
You know, when we first got the dog, I bought like 100 of these poop bags, but we get so many of those bags at Walmart now. I don't know why you need to buy bags unless you don't go shop at like a
Especially
grocery
those
store.
Walmart bags are very large, so you can use it again and again until it's filled.
Do those zero waste people, if they have a dog, they carry around glass jars with them to like?
What? No, stop.
Oh, I do wonder. That's a good question.
That is a good question.
What do they do?
Because they can't say poop
Do they
bags in
have
Jiffy.
dogs? Or are they like?
Or a
free
dog's
range?
too wasteful, just
yeah,
like
exactly.
innately.
Like, no.
Yeah. Wow.
don't-
This is a
yeah.
whole product that exists.
This seems like one of those things that came out because of COVID. When, like you couldn't be in there and like
think
lick
so?
your finger. Because I mean, that was, because people talked about that. It's like, oh, I hate it. I always like hit my face in the grocery store because I didn't realize I used to lick my fingers before I did the bags. So I wonder if this is kind of because of that. It's like, oh, a useful way to open it.
I don't know if I buy that theory, but
Is this like a thing though? Like this person's like, when I go to the grocery store, I have a hard time opening bags. Like,
That's
how
a
often
big
does this
thing.
happen to you that you have to?
some people do have a hard time opening those little baggies that you rip off of the roll. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
those bags.
Those bags, that's what I'm talking. Yeah, like the
bags are a
self-checkout and
beast.
stuff. Yeah.
those bags, they're hard to separate those two layers, and this will solve that in a jiffy. I'll tell you what, I would try these. Like if I don't want to pay money
would.
for it, but I want to like I want to try it. I'm
want
saying
this
I want a
game.
bag. I don't want to like
Don't
try
buy
it and see how good it is. It just seems like
And if
not
it's good, would
the-
you then keep it?
I give it to my mom.
There
She
you
has a
go.
hard time with those. This I don't like the form factor.
Also, though, so you have this on your keychain.
Yeah, that's what I don't
And you're
like.
like, hey, I need to open your car. And you toss me your keys. And I'm like, and I just let them fall on the ground because I'm not touching this
I'm
thing.
not touching
I would
that.
be
Again, that's why I
embarrassed.
don't like the form factor. I feel like this could have been. You don't need the cup for the finger. Like literally, if you snip
Yes.
off both the thimbles,
Yeah.
just a strip in the middle, you can just pinch that around plastic. That'll do it.
That's really interesting. Jamie in the comments here says, I use things like this in the mailroom. I could see that if you're dealing with this over and over and over. If you are a bagger at the grocery store, if you're working in a mailroom with paper, something like
Yeah.
that, I could see that. But again, on my keychain, this is wild. You're gonna spend more time getting it out and getting it on than it takes to just open the bag.
I would be embarrassed to pull out my keys and
Yeah.
like go to
I'd
the
walk away
airport.
immediately. I'd leave you in the store. I'd be like, no,
Right.
walking home.
This project is not funded yet, but it might after you watching this.
Oh.
Do you want a leg-driven gadget that goes on your feet to wipe spots off your carpet? Are you too lazy to bend over?
I just love that they really oversell this. It's a leg-driven gadget.
Also-
it's a brush that you put on the bottom of your shoe.
Also, I love that, like, in the graphic, it says you walk on your heel part to the spot. And in the graphic, it's just a person, like, walking normal.
Yeah.
There's no use of the actual product in here.
There's
ever.
no use.
There's
I
not-
don't think it exists.
No. I mean, like, there's no usage. Like.
No, I know. I don't think they
Oh.
have one to show you.
Yeah.
They have a bottle with a, like,
yeah.
they show you a shoe with a bottle in the shoe, which is not how the product works,
Yeah.
and a hose coming out of it. I don't think they have a working prototype. I feel dumb saying those words, but look at this.
Okay, I get on some ways that you don't want to have to bend over. Maybe some people have a bad back or bad knees, but you just have to put these shoes on and off.
It's just slip
Which
on.
we-
It's not a whole shoe. It's like a universal.
Shoe attachments.
Yeah, you slip your foot into it.
They've got to have these things.
So, which I don't understand why you'd walk around with it then. Why wouldn't you just put it next to the spot and then put your foot on it?
No,
Have you
that's
ever cleaned a
crazy.
spot with your foot? I have, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Who
I've wiped
hasn't?
a spot up, not on the not like carpet. No,
Not on
this is-
carpet,
Well, that's
no.
what this is. This is like a scrubber
This
for
is-
carpet.
Yeah.
This isn't like I'm mopping my floor mess
But it
up.
says it's the best thing since the mop, and I don't
It
understand a lot of
specifically
things
talks
about
about carpet.
Yeah, but that's its catchphrase. I imagine the poor person who's doing the voiceover work got this script and was like, it's a paycheck.
It's a paycheck.
It's the best thing since the mop.
Yes, when's the last time I've used a mop on a carpet?
Yesterday.
That's
Well,
not
have
a
you
thing
ever?
anyone does.
That's what I'm
What do you
saying.
mean, when is the last time? I'm concerned.
My
by
point
that
being, you
statement.
can just kind of this is weird, especially because there's also no suction. Any liquid you add just sits in the carpet.
Yeah.
You're not removing any liquid.
And unfortunately for this guy, he also got a patent for that, and that ain't cheap.
Jeez.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, you want to look it up? It's patent 11,026,554.
Wow.
Yeah, look it up.
I don't know how to do that, and I don't want to.
Also, he's a retired sales rep. I'm like,
All right,
how successful?
picks
He
of the
is
week.
retired.
Maybe very successful at selling garbage things that nobody ever needed.
Maybe.
All right, picks of the week. Yeah, let's go to Mike first.
All right, well, there were a lot of games covered this week, but one stood clearly above the rest of the pack for me, and that is Moonrollers. I love push your luck dice games anyway, and with IV Studio handling it, you know the production is going to be fantastic, and I have faith that they're going to put forth a nice little push your luck game. They're known as a publisher for having these big grandiose productions, and I like that they're doing something on a smaller scale. I think that's very cool. So for me, it is Moonrollers. Let's find out what the rest of the crew has to offer.
All right, Camilla, is yours.
Yes, it is.
So is mine. Firefighters Unbeaten board game. I'm very excited about this one. I like the theme of fighting fires. I think there's too few games about it.
Yeah.
And then with these designers, I like everything about
And
this.
to me, there's a lot of times where it's like, oh, a lot of good ones. I don't know. I could have gone. I hope. Nope. This is the only one that was even close to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very
Everything
excited
else
about
is
this.
trash.
When is this one?
you didn't
When is
pick
this one
this.
coming? Do they have a?
They were showing a lot of copies
November?
of this at Essen, a lot of the pre-production copies.
They had that massive. Do you remember they had
And
the
the giant
massive?
one.
Like, oh, it's so good. I'm so excited.
All right. What about you, Z?
I'm going to pick Wasabi.
Trash.
Wait, Wasabi's trash or Z's trash?
One of the
Both. Yeah, I like Wasabi. I'm glad that they're bringing it back. It makes sense that it would be Kids Table Board Gaming that is doing this. It's a fun little light family game, and the changes sound good. I already enjoyed it, and the changes make it sound like a better game. So I'm in.
Very cool. Yeah, I like both of those. I almost went with the Artipia Firefighter one myself. That probably looks like the
Fire.
best game of the. I have the most confidence in it. But the pick of the week that I'm going to go with is the one action, logisticy.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
I forget what it was called
Dominate?
all of a sudden.
Cargo Empire.
Cargo Empire. That's right.
Yeah, that title's fire too.
That's the thing I remember. One action, baby. No, this sounds like it could be really good. I like the idea of a simple thing driving some layered decisions underneath it. And it looked like there's enough going on to keep me interested. So I'm hoping that this one's cool. I'm looking forward to it.
All righty. Oh, that's it, folks, for another episode of
Crowdsurfing.
Crowdsurfing.
You got it.
Hey, we mentioned at the very beginning of the show that our own Kickstarter is coming up. And you can go visit, if you search on Kickstarter, well, we should probably make Dice Tower Kickstarter. Within an hour, Dice Tower Kickstarter will point there. The launch page. That way you can be reminded when we do launch, which I believe is January 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 8th? Huh?
Yeah, you did it. That's good.
I said a bunch of dates. I don't know which one's right. 8th? January 8th.
You ought to just
You're
say
not
it
off
loud.
camera, Camilla. All right. Anyway. Okay. And wow, there's some good stuff, folks.
Oh, I'm so
Good
excited.
stuff. It's exciting. But anyway, check out these games. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Z Garcia.
Have fun scrubbing the floors with your feet.